Autumn is just round the corner, and the apples and pears in the orchards are almost ready to be picked. In the past, before we had refrigerators and controlled atmosphere storage to keep fruit fresh all year, stroop was a way to preserve it. It's a method that turns a seasonal harvest into a long-lasting product. Today, I have a good number of apples that are a little past their prime, but they're still perfect for making stroop. They're full of flavor, and their slight softness means they will break down beautifully during cooking. I am using 2 kilograms, or about 4.5 pounds of apples, and I start by cutting them into quarters. There's no need to peel the apples or remove the cores. Both the peel and the core contains a lot of pectin, and that's the natural gelling agent that will give our stroop its thickness. This step is really quick and simple. I just make sure to cut away any bad spots or blemishes as I go. I transfer my large pot of apples to the stove and add 200 ml or just under 1 cup of water. I bring the pot to a gentle simmer and then reduce the heat to low and let it cook for about 90 minutes. The goal here is to get the apples incredibly soft, so soft they fall apart. You will want to stir occasionally to make sure the apples are not sticking to the bottom. It's time to separate the liquid. I take a large colander placed over a pot and line it with a clean kitchen towel. Now I carefully pour the cooked apples into the lined colander. Once the mixture is somewhat cooled off, I carefully twist the towel to squeeze out as much liquid as possible. After collecting all the juice, I'm going to boil it down. I place a new pot on the stove over low heat. The goal is here to evaporate all of the water slowly, which should leave me with a thick, concentrated syrup. This can take a while, and this idea of making stroop was suggested by a comment. My goal is to make a video of all Belgian classics, but I never thought of making stroop. So please, if you want to see a video about something typically Belgian, just let me know in the comments and subscribe, because your suggestion might become a future video. The juice starts to turn into a syrup with a beautiful brown color, and I notice the bubbles are getting larger and slower as it thickens. The stroop looks ready, and I pour it in a clean, dry jar and seal it immediately. The jar I sterilize by pouring boiling water into it and letting it sit for a few minutes before drying it. If the jar was completely full, I would expect the stroop to last a few months in my pantry, but since this jar is a little too large and isn't filled to the brim, I store it in the refrigerator to keep it fresh. Stroop is something I've never made before, and this video was something of an experiment. I baked some bread and bought some different kinds of stroop. The first stroop is a sirop de liège, which is characterized by the use of apples, pears and dates. The ingredients are 33% of invert sugar, 31% of pear, 25% apple, 9% date, lemon, and comes in at 4.2 euros per kilogram. The second stroop is a A-brand stroop, also a sirop de liège, made with 65% concentrated juice of cooked fruits in varying proportions of pear, apple and date, 35% sugar, citric acid, and comes in at 6.4 euros per kilogram. The third stroop is an authentic Loonse stroop from the city of Bourg-Loon. The ingredients are juice of boiled fruits, 60% apple, 40% pear, and comes in at 15.7 euro per kilogram. The fourth one is my own stroop, which is just 100% apple. The first and second stroop taste very similar, sweet, caramel, malty and tangy. The authentic stroop is much more firm and has not any of that tangy mouthfeel, because I presume it does not have lemon or citric acid, and has even more a very dark malty flavor. My own stroop is very fruity, the same dark malt flavor, but not as intense as the first three. I really enjoy the taste, and this is probably my own bias, but I find it the best tasting of all four. Let me know in the comments if you want to try making your own stroop, and I will see you next time.